Hi guys, welcome. Stock split and a strong quarter. What could be an even better story to propel a high growth stock to even greater heights? Nvidia is up 15% since the stock split and the volume is coming in. If everything is well in line for higher growth and profitability, why is the CEO selling the shares? Is it still a good time to buy Nvidia at these prices? Let's look at the financials and some interesting insider trading data to make an informed decision. Nvidia reported another record revenue of $6.5 billion, up 68% from the previous year. And the forecast for next quarter is another record $6.8 billion. That will result in year-over-year revenue growth of 43.9%. There is no slowdown in Nvidia's revenue even with stiff competition coming from their main rivals AMD. Gross profit is growing steadily, and based on the outlook for next quarter, the gross margin is expected to improve slightly and maintain the highs of 65%. One of the important items I wanted to validate in this earnings report is the impact of AMD's competition on Nvidia. Based on the solid revenue growth and the high gross margins, it appears that AMD has hardly made a dent in Nvidia's market share. In Nvidia's flagship product segment, the graphics segment, the gross margin has grown driven by higher ASPs or average selling price. The total operating income is $1.8 billion, with a large portion invested in research and development, and the sales and general admin remaining flat. It is good to see that Nvidia is continuing to invest heavily in R&D. While the operating income has jumped up to $2.4 billion this quarter, it is anticipated to flatten slightly to $2.5 billion next quarter. The net income is spotting the same growth pattern. The net margin has also improved to 36.5%. While the earnings per share is up 276% this quarter, it will flatten in the next quarter. The flattening of revenue and earnings will push the PEG ratio above the value level of 1 to 1.47. Let us now look at the free cash flow. The operating cash flow has jumped up to $2.7 billion from $1.9 billion. At the same time, the capital expenditures have dropped to $183 million. The net effect is a big jump in the free cash flow to $2.5 billion. That has partly helped to shore up Nvidia's cash position. The other contributor to the improved cash position is Nvidia's debt issuance of almost $5 billion. I had mentioned in the previous Nvidia video that it would have to either sell its marketable securities or take on more debt as its cash position was very low, and Nvidia has opted to go with the debt route. I would say this is a negative development for Nvidia. It does not bode well for a profitable, high-growth company to take on more and more debt. Just 2 years ago, Nvidia was sitting on a huge cash pile, but that story has changed fast. Nvidia needs the money to fund the ARM acquisition. The acquisition is understandable. To grow, they need to acquire companies. But at $40 billion, is this too big an acquisition? Is Nvidia being too greedy and has overlooked much of the risk? There are no guarantees that the acquisition will work and deliver on the promise of higher growth either. Let's summarize the findings. The things that are going great for Nvidia are growing revenue and high margins, but the valuation is very high at the current price. Price to book is 24.9 and the PE ratio is 74. The PEG ratio is 1.09, but with the guidance outlook for the next quarter, it will jump to 1.47. Furthermore, the weakening balance sheet coupled with the uncertainty of ARM acquisition is putting me off. And finally, the fact that the CEO has been selling shares in the company. Why would I buy a share at these lofty valuations when the CEO himself is selling? But the momentum seems to be in favor of Nvidia. The price has been testing these levels in the past few months, and the volume is coming back. If there is follow-through buying, Nvidia could easily hit to 250 next. Thanks for watching. I hope this sharing has been useful. Coming up next is Nvidia versus AMD versus Intel. Please subscribe if you have found this sharing useful and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of my future videos. And I'll see you soon in the next one. Bye for now.